Rebecca, thanks so much for speaking to us today. Your football journey, talk to us about it. Where did it all start?
I can still remember it now, kind of getting the text from the coach at Celtic at the time. It was just a really proud moment.
Your time at Celtic did come to an end though. When was that, and what were the sort of conversations you had with the then manager?
I'd went out on loan at Christmas time just to try and get some minutes, and I went to Hearts and really enjoyed it. And then at the end of the season I spoke to Fran and I thought that I needed to play, and realistically I didn't think I was going to get that at Celtic. And to be fair, he was very supportive. He didn't want me to leave, but he could understand why. So then I kind of took the decision to move to Hearts because I really enjoyed my loan spell there. And
during your time at Hearts, you did get the call up to the national side. How proud a moment was that for you, the initial call up and of course that phone call?
Huge, huge moment, very unexpected. You know, I'd played the under-19s youth national team, but you don't expect that there's going to be that jump straight away, especially at that point there wasn't the under-23s formed. I think to play for your national team is the biggest moment as a footballer, so it was such a proud moment.
How were you feeling though after that and going into the new year and everything else from a mental health point of view as well?
I think it was tough. Looking back now in reflection, for a number of years I think I'd been struggling, but I tried to suppress it because I thought if you just succeed at football, everything else comes, you're happy, everything will be fine. But I think kind of coming back from the Scotland camp where I made my debut and everything sinking in, you start to realise that it hasn't changed anything. It was a tough time because it was a lot of conflicting emotions, such a high, and then you realise you're at a low point in day-to-day life. It's a hard thing to do, to open up, to be very vulnerable. First and foremost it was speaking to my parents, and I think they could see, even months leading up to it, that I wasn't quite at my best, and every so often a high comes along and you kind of brush everything else to the side because you think, oh, this is it, everything's fixed. Then from there I kind of spoke to Hearts and I spoke to Eva, and it was really tough between both of us, but I had to be honest and say I'm not enjoying things. And I think at that point I wanted to kind of let her know that she was aware and take some pressure off of me. Professional athletes, there's a stigma that they're strong, they're perfect, their life's great, they're winning medals or winning trophies, it's brilliant, and that can make it more difficult. And that was the hardest part for me. Maybe to everyone else from the outside, over the last few years it looked like everything was progressing nicely, achieving things I wanted to achieve, but inside I felt like I was just waiting for everything to fall apart. And it's very difficult to open up because you don't know how people will take it. It's not something that's spoken about in sport.
Your last few months at Hearts, when you did eventually step away, how difficult was that?
I'd been honest and said that after the summer I'd be taking a break from football and I wouldn't be looking to stay on. I felt like I needed to take time for myself to reset and figure out what I wanted to do and to work on myself mentally. And it was very difficult because that's all you've known. You know, growing up, you're the kid that plays football. You go into school, teachers are asking, how's the football? And then all of a sudden, that part of your identity is stripped away, so it was very difficult.
A few months passed again after that, and then you began to play football again. So talk to us about that and the decision, and was it Partick Thistle you came to first?
I had a couple of teams get in contact, which was great. It's always nice to know that people want you. But I'd spoke to Cheryl McCulloch because I was quite close with her at Celtic. We had a great relationship, and she got in touch and said, you know, when you're ready, no pressure, but if you want to train with us, you can come along. So just before Christmas, I kind of got in touch with Cheryl and she put me in touch with Brian because I wanted to give it a go. I think I was ready to come back and I was in a good place, so yeah.
You made your debut for Partick Thistle. How was that, coming back onto the pitch and playing for your new club?
A bit of a strange moment. I think it was only about 10 or 15 minutes, but it probably felt about 90. It was very hard. I think just mentally it's exhausting, but it was nice after it to feel like I got it out of the way.
Where would you say you are just now?
I'm in a good place with anxiety and your mental health. It's not something that gets fixed, it's something you have to consciously be working on kind of every day, knowing maybe some habits that help keep you at a good level, keep you mellow. So I think the big thing for me is just taking it day by day and doing things for myself, making sure I'm improving for me and not to try and attract attention from coaches or national team coaches, whatever it may be. So really just slowing down and just taking things day by day and seeing how far I can go. I think the biggest thing is it's not a weakness to be struggling. I think there is that perception in society, but especially in sport, that you hear about, oh, you get a wee bit of nerves before the game, you have to push through. And I think it's identifying, is it nerves or is there something deeper? And It's definitely not a weakness. It doesn't have to stop you achieving whatever you want to achieve. It's just about another wee hurdle you need to overcome and learn to cope with it, but it definitely won't stop you.